Pattaya City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
Good day and Swati Kab. Well, today we were really having our minds provoked by a talk from Patrick Heywood about the future of Pattaya. Where is it headed? And a lot of people commented on how it made them think. So, okay, there's been issues in Pattaya, right? Like a lot of places in the world. And you made the point that Pattaya is a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I did. And it is. And has been for years. It's lived off tourism like many, many other places in the world. And they have to address it and say the jobs in Pattaya are part-time, are commission only, come from a certain segment of the population, etc. And that has done nothing because the money leaves Pattaya, right? The girls send it back home, they support their family. It's economic as well. I've nothing against it. Philippines do it. They train their people to live abroad or work abroad, and they send the money back home. So I think as far as the tourism is concerned, that's all Pattaya has to offer. Nothing else. And it's got to change. If not, it's dead, finished and gone, and back to a little fishing village that it used to be many years ago.
So one of some of the points you made about infrastructure coming in that has the potential to do a lot of change. You mentioned one of the really major infrastructure things that are likely to happen in the next 3 or 4 years.
I think that there are 4. I think we're seeing the roads at long last. We're having 8-lane highways, 4 lanes out, 4 lanes in, and that's helping to move people and make distances much shorter. And we're having overruns as well, viaducts, etc. So therefore we don't have the traffic light systems. So that's one. The high-speed rail link can bring thousands of people from Bangkok to Pattaya. And from the airport into Pattaya itself, right? And that in itself is going to be high speed. And the Chinese or the Japanese are going to run it. So they're not going to run it at 4 miles an hour, which the current one is. And I think that there are other industries that are future industries. And we had somebody say, well, what about, electric cars? Well, we're having a big, battery factory built outside, more towards Bangkok than anywhere else. But that's being built, and that money's coming in. Thailand manufactures 2.2 million cars a year, the same as the United Kingdom. 50% of that is exported, and that will continue. I won't go into the world's population. That's frightening. It really is. But it's there, and money is being spent, and money is not being spent for nothing, etc. Somebody along the way is going to make money, invest, they want the money back, they need people to deliver it, and that's what going to happen. And my major concern is, who are those people who are going to work? 260,000 jobs being created, they're being paid weekly, monthly, yearly, etc. And that money, they have to live somewhere. And many of those people will have their wife, their partner with them, and their family. So we're talking about a massive, massive industry, inflow of people. And there's no reason why Pattaya can't set its stall out correctly and say, we'd like some of that meat on the table, etc., rather than going somewhere else.
Yes, one of the things that we talk about being a tourist centre, but it's also a retirement centre. But that's sort of grown ad hoc, and you made the point that people really need to take these things seriously and really address them in a systematic, forward-looking manner. One of the things you mentioned was, there's a 6.2 million waiting list for operations in the UK, and a lot of those people could come here, live here for years, or retire here and get actually a level of care that's much cheaper, and we know that Thais make great nurses.
Yeah, I agree. I think what we have is you can't change the culture of the people locally, because as far as their old folk are concerned, the family look after it, and they have their family union, etc. And that works very, very well indeed. And don't forget, all the Thais are very caring, considerate, etc. There is a big market there. 6.2 million people waiting for operations. If I tell you that frightening figures of certain cancer treatments, the waiting list is 9 years.
Whoa, that
Right?
is really serious.
9 years.
And the medical system here, there's some really good, well-run hospitals.
Look, I work within the industry in the United Kingdom. I sit on various national health boards. I know the level of treatment that I get here. I have my treatment here. I go to various hospitals, etc. I have my test results, etc. Yes, I do it. I've sensed them. I've used them. They've delivered for me. And I don't have a waiting list. If I go back to the UK, I know for certain operations it's 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now, all right, I know the pathways. I know how to get around that, etc. But here, I walk into a hospital and say, I've got this problem, and they said, fine. And I had my eyes done. YAG surgery, etc. So I went to see the consultant. He did the test and showed me on the screen, etc., and said, "You need this, that, and the other. Have the other one done." All right. He was looking for work. I'm in the industry.
You mean there's doctors out there not looking for work?
Not looking for work, but yes, and and I said, "Fine. What do I do now? Do I go and make an appointment?" He said, "No, I'll do it now."
Wow. Yeah.
Right, put the drops in my eyes, half an hour later, walked me down the 5 meters down into the dark room, did the laser on both my eyes, and I walked out, and my wife took me home. And that happens time and time again. We don't have that in the UK. Forget that the UK has the best health service. It's free at the point of delivery. I pay for it here, but also you pay for it elsewhere as well.
So there you go. So I'd really urge you, if you care about the future of Pattaya, you care about the future of Thailand, you just want to know about possible investment and other opportunities, have a listen to Patrick's talk. Extremely thought-provoking. It provoked a lot of conversation and questions. Really big thank you for coming and making us all think and opening our eyes for a few things. He was like our eye surgery for the day, helping our vision improve. And so it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye and Swati Cub from myself and the Pattaya City Expat Club, and a final big thank you to Patrick.